on, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. It's your girl Vex.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to deliver content to unlock your mindset and actions to be limitless. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And like we always say, ring the bell notifications so you can be notified when we're dropping gems just like this.
Boom. And we are back another week. We are back here today talking about an industry I don't think we've ever touched on before. And following a really cool series called Inventing Anna, we're going to be talking about producer Shonda Rhimes and sort of talking about this industry. We've got another couple people as well to talk about what we thought. She's incredible, just going through what she's achieved. Some of the things I didn't even know half of until researching it, like what this woman has done. It's incredible. And like I said, industry we've never touched on. So founder of Shondaland. She's a Black American female producer, author, and screenwriter. I'm not gonna lie, there's so many things that she's released that I absolutely love. Scandal being probably the top one. I still haven't actually finished it, but I don't think I did actually.
Crazy. And on the then she's got Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, Bridgerton, which is just
How to Get Away with Murder. I
haven't watched that yet because I'm waiting to finish.
It's
Scandal.
So good, so good.
She's brilliant. Honestly, she actually is incredible. Sick. Like,
you know, she's the youngest of 6.
Really?
Yeah. Her mum has got a PhD and her dad is a chief information officer at the University of Southern California. So apparently she read an article that said getting into USC's film school was harder than trying to get into Harvard Law School. So she took it as more of a competitive challenge and went for it.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
Well, let me prove you wrong. You get.
That's crazy, man, honestly. She's got 3 daughters. 2 of them are adopted. That is Harper and Emerson. And then she's also got Beckett, who was born via a surrogate. Now, I don't know if that's because she can't have children or she made a conscious decision that she was going to adopt. But she said that she actually wrote Grey's Anatomy while she was at home looking after her daughter because she was just watching a lot. She enjoyed stuff like that. And that's where the sort of watching TV a lot, these ideas came. And I had no idea it was a woman behind Grey's Anatomy. I've never actually watched Grey's Anatomy, but I know how popular it is.
Yeah, I've not really been a person that watches it, but I've definitely when people have had it on, I've watched a few episodes and stuff, and it's sick. And I feel like I'm not sure if Grey's Anatomy does a crossover, and definitely know that How to Get Away with Murder does a crossover with Scandal and stuff. So I've got a feeling that Grey's Anatomy does crossover with Scandal at some point as well. But I really like that. Like she said that she was really into those surgery doctor series and documentaries and this type of stuff, and her and her sister would always speak about it and whatnot. But I also like that Shonda tries to bring to TV the perspective from a woman's point of view.
Yes.
And I feel like that's still very limited at this time of day.
Totally agree. But you know what though? So apparently she suffers from something called glossophobia, which is a fear of public speaking.
Yes, so I actually had read about that, and so this is a report or interview from some time ago, and she was saying about how she's a workaholic, but she also has panic attack, or back then had panic attack inducing shyness, which left her secretly miserable, which also led her to turn down a lot of interviews and glamorous invitations, as well, going back to what you said about having a fear of public speaking. It is crazy because you wouldn't think that,
you wouldn't know
of the industry that she's in and what she's doing, and it just shows you about feel the fear and do it anyway. And I really love that book, and I really love that quote because it embodies yes, okay, there's going to be certain things that you are just not comfortable at doing,
100%.
but just jump in.
Just jump in, man. Absolutely. So she's the first Black American female to create and executive produce a top 10 network series, which was Grey's Anatomy. You've already mentioned Scandal and that. Inventing Anna. If you haven't watched it yet.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
Well, start to finish.
Binged it, mate.
Is it good?
I loved it. So I know about the story because I watch a lot of 60 Minutes Australia, and this girl was on that once. He talking about a story, and I couldn't believe it. So when I saw that and like the intro, I was like, that sounds really familiar. So I quickly like Googled it. I was like, they've based it off that, and it is brilliant. I think what's cool about it anyway is the fact that this girl had done all this and got away with it, which in itself is like, how the heck did you do that? So that in itself is fascinating, but I really like the way she's put it across. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That's sick, man. I'm super looking forward to watching that, and I can't wait to watch it. But one of the things that I was going to say is like Bridgerton, yeah. So when that was released, 63 million households watched it within 5 days.
Wow. What is that about, actually? Because I'm not going to lie, the name isn't the catchiest name.
No. So you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm not really... I do like period drama, but I wouldn't say I'd run out there to watch it. But there was something, because it was period drama, but there was kind of a modern air to it, if you know what I mean. Like the stories seem like it could be interesting. Watch it. It is so good. It is so good. Watch it.
Someone at the box said that she was banging on about it. She was saying this is, honestly, it's brilliant. And talking about that then, in 2017, that's when she actually signed her multi-year deal to produce new series and projects for Netflix. And as we all know, Netflix is just doing bits. So many cool things are on there now. Honestly, I don't know
really
how anyone watches normal telly anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I don't. We just got Sky, but other than that, like, I actually had daytime TV on today. But anyways, I feel like Netflix are stepping up, and they are trying to put a lot more like black series, movies out there with black leads, black directors, black producers, and all the rest of it. So I feel like it's really cool. I also wanted to touch on or just mention about her relationship with Betsy Beers, who's also a film producer, who has also been working very closely with Shonda as well. I really think that their relationship is pretty incredible. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
She's won a few of her awards. Then she's won a Golden Globe, Peabody Award, Lifetime Achievement Award from the Directors Guild, American Writers Guild, and Producers Guild. 2017, she was inducted into the Television Academy of Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. And you were talking about, Netflix stepping up the game and stuff. So I couldn't find anything like super recent, but some stats, this is from 2014, but then I'm pretty sure I read something that said the needle hasn't moved that much at the moment, but women account for 43% of all producers on network TV shows, which is a 14% increase since 97-98. 13% of all directors, 20% creators. And then just looking at Netflix and cable, I think they mentioned 40% of women are producers, 26% writers, 21% executive producers, 19% creators, and 13% directors.
I mean, you know what, like the fact that there's representation, it seems a bit better than some other industries, like 40%, 43%, some of the numbers that you quoted, when you think that women represent 50% of the population. So really and truly, that's actually not terrible. It's quite good numbers to hear. Definitely think there definitely is improvement. But actually I'm quite shocked by that.
See, I'd like to know why it's not translating into movies though, because I think with like film directors, when I was looking, it's lower. So what's happening in that TV world that isn't in the movie world? Is it because women look for more of that I want to be with something and grow it, not just a one hit, that's it, the film's done. And I'm like, I wonder why that is. It'd be interesting to understand.
I feel like that point that you've just made there, I feel like going on to one of the other people that I will speak about, is really giving that perspective from a woman's point of view. So maybe it's like,
can you do it in an hour and a half?
It's not, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you build that relationship with the character and so on and so forth. Shonda was talking about Bridgerton and how good of a job that they did with her and Betsy did with that, because one of the characters is no longer going to be there. It's not a female character. One of the characters is no longer going to be in the rest of the series. And she said, like, there was such an outcry when that happened, but that means that they did a good job, because people wanted to see more of that person. You get what I'm saying? And I thought that was pretty sick.
100%, totally agree. So that takes me into my second person, and that is Eileen Shaken. She's a producer and a writer. She's known for things such as Handmaid's Tale, which is absolutely brilliant, and I cannot wait for the latest season to come out, which actually won her an Emmy Award. Law and Order, Organised Crime, The L Word, and Empire. So she was on Empire the first three and a half seasons. She's an advocate for diversity and inclusion, and bringing marginalized voices and storylines to mainstream TV, which is what we saw with L Word, definitely. And with the L Word, it was actually the first ensemble cast depicting gay women. It was the first time ever. So I thought, big shout out to Eileen there. Yeah.
L Word was incredible.
So good. So
good.
And Handmaid's Tale. Please watch it. It's so good.
I don't think I can watch it. You know, you said it was a bit mad.
Oh yeah, you don't like stuff like that.
I'm not really like a psychological type person. Things that's going to be maybe too graphic, that's going to play on my mind.
But I wouldn't say it's overly.
That's why I can't watch.
You can't watch what?
I wasn't going to watch How to Get Away with Murder, because the title alone, I was just like, I don't know if I really want to watch this. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
And there's twists and turns, and the turn twists again. And yeah, it is good. It is so, and it's just the character. She's such a strong, she won awards like that. I feel like I want to go back and rewatch How to Get Away with Murder. It was that good. So good. And I need to go back, and I think I'm probably going to restart Scandal, because it was similar. Same as a bit like with House of Cards. I got to a point and I stopped, and then I was like, oh, well, I've kind of lost it now. So I went back and rewatched the whole thing again. So I think I'm going to do that with Scandal as well.
Scandal is sick. Like, I can actually rewatch Scandal. Like, it's one of those ones that I can keep rewatching it. L Word was very much like that for a long time, until recently. I was trying to rewatch it, and I was like, oh, I'm not really into it like I used to be into it, but it was sick when I first watched it. But yeah, man, Scandal is just yeah. So the next person I'm going to speak about is Chinonye Chukwu. And she is a Nigerian American screenwriter, producer, and director, best known from the drama Clemency. I haven't seen that, but it sounds interesting. I believe it depicts a Black woman who is works in the prison service and is constantly given the death penalty, or whatever it's called.
Oh wow.
Chinonye, she is the first Black woman to win the US Dramatic Grand Jury prize at Sundance. And one of the things that she said from LA when she was on the phone about the win is that it was bittersweet, and that she wished she was the 10th Black woman that was won, not like the first. And you know what? It's one of the things that we've spoken about. One day we just won't have to say.
You don't need to say, 100% agree.
And she said what makes some of the most compelling storytelling is when we're not so binary, but show the paradoxes that make up our human existence. Those are the areas that she tends to live in her filmmaking and in her storytelling. And so my background has forced me to really live in that when I create characters. She says that casting Bernadine as a Black woman inherently complicates Clemency's narrative because we're not used to seeing Black women as fully realized human beings who are not solely defined by their race and gender or by male characters. And I thought that was pretty deep. She says Black female characters are largely still not given the space to be complex. She says society doesn't regard Black women, society doesn't care about Black women's humanity. And so we see the extension of that on screen. We're disregarded, we're dehumanized and discredited in real life every single day. And that doesn't stop in cinema, which is pretty...
But again, I think, and that's why we're banging on about Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, because they were led by Black women. Yeah. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you from How to Get Away with Murder, but as a character, she's more complex and goes through just some, just madness. And there were turns in it I was not expecting. I was like, no way. Really? But it was brilliant because it's touched on so many points. And that character is very complex. And she then touches on it and even into the courtrooms and stuff like that. Like, you're like, wow, you're so right with that. So that's why I think as well, I think I really enjoyed it because I've never seen such a strong Black character that could get emotional, could be strong, could be vulnerable, like so many things all at once in this series. It's brilliant.
And you know what? And this is not a female director related, but one of the things that I would say about Power is the way in which 50 Cent has been able to depict Black women. I think he's done it pretty well, to be fair. Yeah. And he's given some really strong characters within his screenwriting to Black women. And I think, some of the stories are pretty incredible as well.
It's like on Empire, Cookie, like, I love her, man. She's so funny.
Just as an actress anyway, she's
brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. So that's everything that we've got for this week. I think it's a bit of a different one. I think it's a needed one. I've been your girl, Bex.
And I've been Carly. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. Go and check out some of these series we've been talking about. Really, really good. Hope you like this week's video and we will see you next week.
Peace.